Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Gauntlet League match. As you can see by the title, today is match number 14. We are getting ever so close to the halfway point. Now, if you are stumbling across this video and don't know what the Arena Gauntlet League is, check the description. At the very top you can see a link to my week 0 video, which is kind of like an introduction to this league, what the mechanics are, what planeswalking is, what comeback packs are, all sorts of things like that. And you can check the last 13 videos uploaded to the channel, which are all of the previous 13 matches that I have gone through so far in this league. The deck that you see on your screen right now is the deck we are running into match number 14 as we carry an 8-match winning streak. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but I've mentioned it before almost every video, and it's kind of not been jinxed, so maybe I just keep saying things. We've got double Hungry Ghoul and Voluntary Employment Eaten Alive as a sacrifice package, couple goblins here, as well as Mob Boss and like 12 2-drops, some top end if we get stalled a little bit, and a couple of removal spells, you know, Stab, Blast, Burst Lightning. It's performed incredibly well so far. What's to say that can't continue? Going into today's match, this is where we currently sit on the leaderboard. There are 121 members that began this league, and once you reach your 11th loss, you are officially eliminated. And as of the recording of this video, we are sitting in 8th place as 6 members have been eliminated with a remaining pool of 115 players. Over the course of 6 weeks, we are trying to find our way into a top 8 scenario, which is going to be difficult. Usually you need to be at least 20-10, maybe 21-9 to really have a shot at doing that. And we're fighting our way there as much as we can so far. So starting 10-3, we are in 8th place. If we can win today, if you look at this leaderboard, I think our match win percentage tiebreaker will put us below Lottie, but I think we're going to end up in 4th if we can win. And if we lose, I think we drop down to 9th. But, you know, it's too early to be looking at that. This is where we stand right now, and that's where we're at. Today's match is against Cardmaaster, who has a record of 4-9 and sits in 97th place in the league. Like I might have mentioned before, for those of you that have seen some of the previous videos, most of these matches are determined relatively randomly, so it's not that you get to get matched up against evenly matched players as far as record. But what's fun about this league is all these comeback packs that you get. When you're 10-3 and you go up against a 4-9, I mean, they have now 6 more comeback packs than I have access to, which means their pool is almost twice as large as my pool, which, you know, evens the playing field quite a bit here. So, you know, record aside, this is not going to be an easy match. They're playing a black-white deck here, and we get to see if we can try to make our way to 11-3 on the league. Enjoy the match. Alright, we go first here in this match, and gosh, this hand is close. I think it's a keep. The issue is, this is basically already like mulliganing, because the Strongbox Raider can't be cast unless I draw 2 mountains. But if I mulligan, am I going to get something much better than this? There's a chance I get something worse, so I think I'm going to keep it. I'm not thrilled with it. So let's hope that Cardmaaster is running a bit of a slower deck here. No Healer's Hawk, please. It is not a slower deck. Oh, Stab. Well, as long as they don't hold up protection, that should be pretty good for us here. Likely going to kill that Healer's Hawk. Black, white. Got a Wintermoor Commander, a Fiendish Panda. Okay. Oh, that's a brutal draw. Do not like to see that. Here goes Hungry Ghoul, I assume. There it goes, and can't do anything about it, so down it goes. They've got no priority, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this thing here now. And gosh, this is taking a turn for the worst rather quickly. Cat Collector. I'm glad we got rid of the Healer's Hawk. I probably have to get rid of that thing by sacrificing my own Blood Witch, which really does not feel good to do. Like, at all, but this thing is a huge issue. And I have two cards I am wildly far away from casting in my hand. So, I mean, this game got really out of hand. Maybe I should have mulliganed. I mean, the hand basically just folded to a removal spell. I was hoping for, like, something else I could cast off the top of my deck, but instead we've just got nothing here. And you know what? With 30 matches in the league, and us being currently, what are we, 10-3, I think? It's just, games like this are relatively inevitable, I feel. Like, you could have as many as 90 games in this league, and sometimes you just get mana screwed, so. Going against Black-White Life Gain, which is really not good for us. I really hope they don't have some sort of flash creature here. That wouldn't be good, but looks like they don't. Erebos, Celestial Armor, Sigrid God-Favored. That is a rare flash creature. Okay, so if I kill the Fiendish Panda, they get back a Healer's Hawk. I mean, is it gonna get much better or worse than that? Conversely, I could just attack and play a Raider and then threaten to trade and save my removal spell. I think they've got removal as well. There's 2 stabs. I've already used 1. So the question is, do I Incinerating Blast the Panda or play the Raider? I think I'm going to try to play the Raider here and offer a trade with the Panda. Sanguine Siphoner or a land. Sanguine Siphoner is really not doing much for me. If I take the Siphoner, I can't cast 2 things next turn unless I top deck also exactly a land. I could also attack with Blood Witch. This is assuming they don't have another creature. Attack with Blood Witch, play Raider, hit a land, play the land, play Siphoner. Okay, I guess I'll take the Siphoner here and see if they do have the stab. If they did, I feel like they would have used it. 7 mana, you never love to see that. Murderous Rider, Valgavoth, Bloodsky Sire, Abyssal Harvester. Yeah, this is why I mentioned before that, like, you know, just because they're 4-9 and down in 97th place, that does not mean that this is going to be a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. Their card pool is very, very good because they have over twice the amount of cards we do. And yeah, this combo's nice. Combo is nice. If they kill the Raider, then, I mean, what am I supposed to do, you know? Oh my goodness. Okay, so flying hexproof indestructible. Well, I guess I have to Incinerating Blast that. I don't really have much else of a choice. In which case they just re-equip it over here and kill me? Is that right? Yeah, that's pretty much all that can happen. What are my other outs? So, yeah, if I Incinerating Blast that, they just re-equip Celestial Armor. It gets +2/+0 and flying, and I'm at 4. So what I have to do to survive here is Incinerating Blast the Panda. Discard the Raider. Have to draw exactly a mountain and then Burst Lightning my own Blood Witch. That's my only out to remotely survive. I guess I could hit... I mean, I have to Incinerating Blast. There's nothing else I can do. So do this, get rid of this, miss on the mountain, and then they also just get the Healer's Hawk back too. So yeah, that'll do that one. Yeah, just bunch of really good uncommons and rares, and I stumbled and kept a bad hand really. As I've mentioned before, the sideboard is effectively non-existent for us. So I'm probably just going to go straight into the next game. Yeah, I mean, Pilfer is the only thing I've ever considered and I never brought it in. Got a Shriek Mass. That just seems bad. Crypt Feaster seems bad. Soul Caller doesn't seem great either. So, just gotta hope we get a good starting hand this time, I guess. Alright, starting with our backs against the wall here. And we get a hand I can't keep this time. So, send it back. Very unfortunate. We have the Eaten Alive Involuntary Employment combo. Now, this is a really tough one because I don't want to get rid of that combo. It's a really, really potent combo. But what else would I get rid of? Like a land? I guess I could get rid of a land here, but that requires me to draw more of them to get into this. But I don't want to get rid of Stab or the Goblin, so I don't like doing that. It's kind of risky, but I feel like we need to be a little bit risky with this hand. Not another one. Come on. You're gonna make me do it again. Okay, Burst Lightning's not too bad. I need to draw some lands here now, obviously. Please don't remove the Goblin. It's kind of all I've got. Thank you. Alright, let's miss land drops and... Goodness. Yeah, this just wasn't our match, was it? Let's hope we can just get this one out of the way and get back on our winning streak, because boy, was this just a bad one. Really, I mean, I feel like there was just nothing I can do. The shuffler gods were like, no, we don't want you to get 9 in a row. That's not good. Everything's dying. Alright, not much else to do but play the Perforating Artist here. Is that gonna die too? I mean, I haven't drawn very many creatures, but they're all just dying. Yes, it does. Alright, go ahead. I mean, I'm only going to use the employment to steal something and then sacrifice that something to kill their other something, so I hope they play another creature that I'd like to kill here. That's something I'd like to kill. The question is... do I Burst Lightning it? So if I steal it next turn, it gains haste, but it's not going to... Is there a way I can use that ability? So I steal it. Nothing will have gone to the graveyard that turn, unfortunately. So let's just go ahead and kill it for that reason. What do they have? Do they have a discard card in their deck? Potentially, but I don't see like Arbiter of Woe or whatever that card is either, so I guess there's no real need to play the land here. Interesting. Can I do anything with that? Fortunately not. I don't have the mana. And I can't let them attack with that. So let's go ahead and wipe their board here. Oh, now they have something to target this with. Interesting. So they're going to kill their own creature here. Something targets an opposing creature, just so I can't get the trigger off of the Valgavoth? Or Varagoth? What could they have? Not exactly sure. Oh. Yeah, little do you know that's not actually going to affect my play this turn, but I see why you did it. All right, top deck war. And we don't have much. Looking in their graveyard, and I don't have removal. Oh, you hate to see that. There's the Sunblessed Healer. What you gonna get back? The Healer's Hawk. Sure. Alright, well, nothing much else to do but this. Pass the turn. 22 to 14. I mean, I can trade here, but that doesn't seem great either. They could also just Rogue's Passage me to death here. You can't block that now. Take 6 points of lifelink, I suppose. And do they still have stab? Yeah, pass to attackers. I mean, I can't block a 4/4 either, so I go to 8 now? Yeah, like I said, this game was just really not our game. Like, at all. Can't really get the trigger, so let's go ahead and play it. And they still have priority, so they've got exactly stab, unfortunately. So that thing is dead now. Yeah. What a game. Man. I mean, they stab this, I eat it, I have a 3/3 and a 1/3. What are they not stabbing for? Why wouldn't they? I don't see another card in their pool that could possibly be. Unless they're playing on full control, which is a possibility. We're also just dead next turn to Rogue's Passage, so I mean, sure. I guess that's why they didn't stab. They didn't need to, because Rogue's Passage is just going to kill me next turn. Yeah, can't block. Go to 3. Which means even if I kill this, I'm dead to that. So yeah, that doesn't do anything. I mean, I can gain a life, but then they just Rogue's Passage the Cardmaaster. And yeah, brutal match, you know? We really do have to make sure, you know, like I said, in such a long league, I feel like matches like this are bound to happen. I can't complain after having gone 8-0 in the last 8 matches and just some mana screw and some brutal draws and some should have been mulligans and sorts of. We just never really stood a chance there, and that was just brutal. So let's see if we can rally in our last match of the week tomorrow. So after that unfortunate loss, this is where we stand with 1 match to go left this week. We have moved down from 8th to 11th place with a record of 10-4. Once again, the entire page on the right as far as our tiebreaker goes, we would only beat one of these players in opponent match win percentage, which is not helping us out at all. If we are able to win this final match of the week tomorrow, we'll jump back into 8th place, somewhere around 7th or 8th. Maybe we'll finish around 10th or so at the end of the week, because there are still a few players left to play, like Res Red down there in 16th. And if we lose, we probably drop down to 15th, 16th, and end somewhere in the 20th range by the end of the week. So a lot of the line for the last match. A 4-1 would be a great follow-up to a 5-0. I would not mind that whatsoever. But this is where we stand after the match 14 loss. Now, we haven't had this in a while because we've been on an 8-match winning streak, but don't forget, when you lose, you actually get a comeback pack added to your pool of cards to help boost your deck for future matches. And because we have planeswalked to the, to the Plane of Eldraine, the comeback packs come from Throne of Eldraine. So the comeback pack that I received for losing this match is on your screen now. Now we're playing red-black. I don't think the rare Yorvo helps me, convince me to want to go back into green or anything. Shepherd of the Flock is fine. The other uncommons are garbage, unfortunately. Festive Funeral is a removal spell that I just don't think is really much better than what we've got. There's also a Searing Barrage down in the 2nd level, which could be better than one of our 5-mana removal spells that we've got right now. And a Crystal Slipper is just kind of like the same thing as a Katana, and that's it. We got effectively no help from this comeback pack here, and that's brutal for our deck. In fact, this whole pack is really pretty darn bad. I mean, Shepherd of the Flock would be fine in a white aggressive deck. I don't know what deck I would want to play to put any of these cards in my deck, unless I was playing mono green and put Yorvo in, but it's a brutal spot to be in when the comeback pack that you're supposed to get after you lose to help you come back doesn't help you come back. But there is one other mechanic on the Plane of Eldraine that it does help us out. When you lose, you are allowed to choose either Prince or Pauper. If you choose Prince, you get 1 random rare or mythic added to your pool from Throne of Eldraine. But if you choose Pauper, you get 10 random commons added to your pool. And my thought was, well, I'm playing a 2-color deck. What if I choose the rare and I get a blue rare? Well, then I don't get anything that I can actually add to my deck here. So I chose the 10 commons, and this is actually better than our comeback pack here. We've got Reeve Soul. That's definitely going in the deck. We've got Barge In. Attacking creature gets +2/+2, and then each attacking non-human gains trample until end of turn. A decent little trick to help us push in that last little bit of damage in our red-black aggro deck. And Ginger Brute sitting on the bottom. Just a nice aggressive creature. I'll see if I can fit it into the deck build here after this, if we want to consider that or not. The Bloodhaze Wolverine doesn't really work for us. Ardenvale Tactician, Outmuscle, these are good cards. They just really don't fit in what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and take these cards and add them to our pool and see what we can't build for match 15. So here is the deck that we just played, including the 6 cards over here on the side that you can see that I am considering adding to this deck to make it better. I've already thrown all the other cards into the sideboard. They're just the blue cards, the white cards, the cards we're not really going to play. This deck has been doing very well for us. I don't want to consider changing colors, at least not yet, till I feel like I need to. So Of these 6 cards, what can I fit in? Well, the Reeve Soul's definitely going in. I'm a little bit light on removal here. Searing Barrage is a 5-mana instant that deals 5 to a creature, and if at least 3 red mana were spent to cast it, it deals 3 damage to the controller. The Incinerating Blast is a sorcery, but it does deal 6. I don't think the difference between 5 and 6, and then discarding a card and drawing a card, makes that much difference for me, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put the Searing Barrage in. Festive Funeral, like I said, our deck is too aggressive, and I just don't think we can really rely on this actually doing much for us. Now it's down to Crystal Slipper and Quick Draw Katana. So 2 mana to play, 1 to equip, +1/+0 in haste, versus 2 mana to play, 2 to equip, +2/+0 in first strike. I don't think I need both of these effects, and honestly, I think the Katana is probably better than the Slipper, so I'm going to throw the Slipper into the sideboard. I do think Barge In is actually going to be pretty good in this deck. Unfortunately, we don't have a non-human count, but how many humans? 1 human. So, you know, what do we got? 27 creatures with one of them being human, so 26 of them are non-human. So I think Barge In has the ability to be pretty good for us here. And then Ginger Brute, or do we have ways to pump the Ginger Brute is the question. I guess the Quick Draw Katana is pretty good with it. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty good if you're able to like suit it up and stuff. I don't think we're so aggressive that we need a 1 mana 1/1 haste. So I'm probably just going to throw Ginger Brute into the sideboard. Now we have to cut 3 cards from this. I think I would like to cut one of the clunky Incinerating Blast now that I have an expensive removal spell to replace it here. We brought in Barge In and Reeve Soul as well. Didn't bring in any more 2-drops. I like my 3s. I think my 4s are okay. The Sower is maybe a little clunky here. I could probably take out the Sower of Chaos. I don't want to take out too many creatures. It is an aggro deck that wants creatures on the battlefield. I think the Shivan Dragon's actually pretty okay at the top of the curve. Dragon Trainer and Shivan Dragon are very close to each other. I think we can probably take out the Dragon Trainer. That's close to me. There's also the Gorehorn Raider, but that's a little bit more reach to be able to push through some damage toward our opponent if we get them pretty low. Still have all of our 2s here. Still have all of our 1s, an extra combat trick, an extra removal spell, and an extra removal spell to kind of like reinforce the deck a little bit. So I think this is where I'm going to land after match 14 and our comeback packs here. Not super thrilled with what we got. Would have loved to get another rare in this deck. I don't even know if I have. I've got Krenko and a couple of goblins, but that's pretty much it. I guess in a 9 Lives Familiar is a rare card, but it's not really rare power level. So, you know, it's kind of the catch-22. You want to keep winning so you don't get comeback packs, but you also don't mind losing as much because it helps boost your deck for future matches. So it is what it is. We still got some losses to give, so we're going to go ahead and head into the final match of the first half of the league tomorrow, match 15, with this deck. And nothing left to be said. See you then.